I'm sorry you don't get to see my face today, but you do get to hear my voice and look at my screen, so hopefully that makes up for it. What I want to do is something a little bit different, right? I haven't done a lot of screencasts, but I want to walk you through a little experiment I found myself doing earlier today, and the sort of insight that came at the end. So what you're looking at is a tool that I built. I don't really need a name for it. It's just my own tool, but it's the Resort YouTube video search tool. And it lets me search basically every video that has ever been uploaded by a ski resort. And I use this for a handful of things. For example, right now I'm looking at just last season's uploads, and I can search for things like TV spot, and I can find the TV spots, or commercial, and I can find the commercials. And that's a great way for me to see what commercials are being created by resorts, even if I'm not in their local market, where I might get that actually served up to me on TV or web. So that's one thing I do. But if you just remove the limits, go back to 2010, you basically have every video that's ever been uploaded. And this is a good time for me to explain this far right column, which is promoted. So when a video is uploaded and then promoted as a pre-roll or a mid-roll ad, when someone is served up that video, they don't see the ratings, and they don't see the thumbs up, thumbs down button. The thumbs up and thumbs down button that shows up is for the video that person is trying to watch, not the ad. And so the only way for someone to rate that video is to click through on the ad and then go and rate it up or down. And so by comparing the number of views to the number of people who rated that video and the ratings, you can start to tease out which ones are promoted and which ones aren't. So a simple example, Ratatouille, very organic video that went beyond the ski industry viral a handful of years ago. That has 1.3 million views, but also has 5,000 people who have rated that video. So I'm pretty sure that's not promoted. And so my little algorithm kind of teases those out. J-Peak, it's a TV spot. This is heavily promoted. It only has 3 people who have rated that. So yeah, we can be very, very confident that was a promoted video. Some of these in between where they have a handful of ratings, but still quite a few views, I'm pretty sure, but there are enough in that range that I'm not 100% positive, so I label those as likely. So what I found myself asking was, is there such thing as a perfect resort video? A resort video that has a perfect 5.0 rating. So the first thing I did was simply search for all videos that have a perfect 5.0 rating. And sure enough, there were quite a few, but you could see right off the bat that the first handful are all promoted. So the second thing I did was filter it down to those that are not promoted. And here we're starting to get somewhere. We have quite a few that are not promoted. But I wanted to make sure it wasn't just a fluke. If, for example, not that this would ever happen, but one of the other Slope Filters videos I uploaded, my wife clicked like on, I think my mother or someone else I know might have clicked like on. Only 2 people have clicked the thumbs up on those videos. I have a perfect rating. It's not an amazing video. So I wanted to filter out those that really reached a certain threshold. So the threshold I started with was 10. 10 people had rated it. I still had over 100 videos, so I went up to 50, and now it's coming down, but still over 100 videos, and then finally it went to 100 people had rated it. And we're down to 21 videos now. And this is where I started to really notice some patterns. So I'm going to start at the bottom, actually, to explain what I saw at first. So the first thing that I noticed is dogs. Dogs, and the other one is GoPro. So you've got a dog here, GoPro here. And as you go up, you start to see, let's see, there's another dog. There's another dog one. Dog and GoPro, not surprisingly, that is number 2. You have really amazing footage of an early opening that's going to resonate with the core and all the pent-up demand in the fall. So there's some different things that show up. But the one at the very top of the list really stood out to me. And this stood out to me in the beginning. This is a video that, for whatever reason initially, I really, really enjoyed. I enjoyed building things. I enjoyed tinkering. And so maybe that's part of it. But when I looked at the numbers, when I looked at where it stood compared to all other resort videos that had been uploaded, and specifically those that had never been promoted and had that certain threshold of viewership, and ratings. You know, you can see how many of these are from Whistler Blackcomb. They've really done an incredible job with high production quality and great storytelling. But it's that latter part that really stood out to me. This is a story. It's not about the mountain directly. It's not about just the people. It's this blend of who they are and the context of their lives, which is in Whistler, and that relationship between who they are and the sport they love and the resort in town. And I've talked so much about storytelling the last, really the last 3 or 4 years, but especially the last year or so. And this was just a really interesting kind of moment of insight, maybe a bit of validation that storytelling works. It's not just a thing that makes for a great submission to the NSAA awards, or it's not just something that shows up when me and my peers are writing the Sam Best Worst list. It actually generates data that suggests that this is what people want, that it works. So this video, I'll put this in the notes to this video or in the post where I share it. But I want you to just watch this video, and as you watch it, think about it in the context of this video has the most views, has a perfect 5.0 rating, almost 300 people have rated it, and it's one of the only, it's at the top of the list in that regard to have not been promoted. So that's all I want to share today, just this little insight into that. I think it's pretty interesting. If you like this format, if you're tired of looking at my face, there's a lot more stuff like this I could do. And if you'd ever be curious about trying out this tool and have a valid reason for it, reach out. I'd love to get your thoughts on it and maybe give you access to it for a little while. So thanks, and I'll see you next week.